Somebody asked me how to describe what CoWorks is. It's 3 words. It's cool, affordable workspace. It's a space that you can move out of your home office, come and be around humans, and then you stop talking to the walls and kind of separate, work from home life. And everything's included. Really, we kind of talk about you just kind of come in, plug in, and get to work. We don't get it a lot, but we do ask if we have receptionists and if we offer phone service. And the answer is no. We looked at those things, but in order to do that, there's more management, there's more overhead involved, and that just means we have to charge more. And the way that people operate today and the technology that's available online, there's just no need for it. We've been open here for about 1.5 years, and and the types of people that we have working here, it's not just the entrepreneurs and small business owners, but we have a lot of people that telecommute, that are working maybe for a big corporation based out of Boston or California somewhere, and they've just been working out of their house. And that's actually a trend that's evolving at a bigger scale, where Fortune 100, Fortune 500 companies have realized the value of immersing their employees in more of a collaborative environment. And what's really cool about that is the interaction and the collaboration that you get between the different people that are using the space. To me, it's really evolving to become more of a hybrid between maybe traditional executive office space and something that's a little more cutting edge and a little more youthful and hip and not as formal. Because you still have people that want the privacy of an office, can shut the door, but they don't need a receptionist and all the other things that drive up the cost of renting a space. We've strategically placed these co-working locations in kind of a mixed-use environment. Here in Lumina Station, it's retail, shops, so you have restaurants, and so it gives the people a sense of community, a place to go. And so we're just now starting to get involved more with the community, looking at partnerships with the university, the local business development, entrepreneurship center. As we're starting to grow a little bit, we're starting to kind of create a little more of a footprint. We've been able to fill up our spaces here. The first space filled up within about 8 months. The second one's on track. And so we're now working on our third one, and that's our first licensing agreement. We actually partnered with a local real estate developer here who had vacant space that's just been sitting unoccupied because the real estate market's been so bad. So they see value in bringing this new energy, and that has a trickle-down effect, obviously, to the other businesses in the area, restaurants and shops and stuff like that. If we look at all the people that are working out of this space, and if there was some formula to calculate the economic footprint that this would have, between the 2 spaces that we have here currently, I would, at rough guess, we probably have 30 businesses that are operating, give or take. And so when you start to think about just the local economy, I'd be curious to see what that impact is.
My sister and I had always talked about starting a business together, and so independently from my other job, the opportunity arose to start this co-working space. The way that the co-working space came about is actually through Twitter, which is part of the reason why I'm such a big Twitter advocate. So when I lived in DC, I wasn't really connected to people in Raleigh, in person or on Twitter, but I shot out a tweet one day saying, are there co-working spaces in Raleigh? And Derek Miner of the Downtown Raleigh Alliance happened to find my tweet in the Twitter sphere, floating around there, and he responded back and ended up hooking us up with a few different resources. So the Raleigh Forum started on September 15th of 2011, and we were open for a year. We held a lot of events. We had a tight-knit group of coworkers. We built a big community within downtown that was kind of our unofficial coworkers, people who would drop in for the day and who would just drop in for events. And then we were approached by the founders of Hub Raleigh, which is a new co-working space opening at the corner of St. Mary's and Hillsborough, where we are now. we decided to join forces with them. And so they are working on a whole different scale than we were able to work on. So it's a much bigger space, it's a bigger community, it's an international franchise, so it's an internationally known name. So joining forces with them seemed like an ideal move as our first year anniversary came up. At the Raleigh Forum, we had 18 members. We had day passers, custom packages for small businesses. We had our regular coworkers who mostly worked part-time. And at Hub Raleigh, we have office suites for 4 to 5 people. We have set areas for part-time and full-time folks, and we have 18 hot desks for individuals who are just dropping in. We also have a farm table in the reception area for people to work. We also have access to several different conference rooms and then the large event space. So the Raleigh Forum is still in existence. We're now the events platform for Hub Raleigh. So my sister, Sarah Roman, and I are now the directors of community engagement. So that means we promote the space and we host events here as well. So we still have our unique identity as the Raleigh Forum, but under the umbrella of Hub Raleigh. Jason Wyden is the executive director of Hub Raleigh. One of the other co-founders is Christopher Gergen, who runs Bull City Forward and Queen City Forward, which are social entrepreneurial co-working spaces in Durham and Charlotte. And then the other co-founders are Brooks Bell and her husband, Jesse Lipton, with Brooks Bell, which is a local social media SEO firm. So I think Raleigh is an amazing place to start any kind of business, and we're at a really crucial time in the development of the city. And so in the same way that the Raleigh Forum became a hub of the downtown area, I see Hub Raleigh being an even bigger hub for individuals from all different industries to convene.
This building was such an important part of the local community. It was a school for a long time. It was a manufacturing place and employed a lot of people. In fact, you're really hard-pressed to go around this county, around this region, and find somebody who hasn't spent some portion of their lives either going to school or working in this building. And so when the company, it was a sock factory, moved their operations to Central America, it was really devastating to this small community. Star has a population of 800. There were more than 1,000 people employed in this building at one point. So it was really quite devastating. So we took over the building. It's 187,000 square feet. It's 4 acres of building under roof. Nearby, near Star, was the community of Seagrove, where there were over 100 pottery studios, and they were mostly importing all of their clay materials. But there was a very big interest in making pots from local materials. And so we saw that as an opportunity for a small business. So we were fortunate to find a real talented clay maker, Takara Shibata, who came here from Japan and started growing this business. We actually got access to the historic Seagrove clay pit. And we are now making a Seagrove clay body for the first time in decades. The clay business is growing really well. We've got more than 2,000 customers. We sell clay in 6 states now. And then we started looking at other things that we could do here, and we got interested in starting a glass studio. The trend now is public access glass studios. In other words, one big glass studio where individual glass artists can come in and rent that studio by the hour. We started looking around for someone that could help us do that, and we were, after calling all over the country, we were directed to Eddie Bernard, the owner of Wet Dog Glass. Wet Dog Glass had pretty much been wiped out in Katrina. Their fab shop, their fabrication place was in Midtown New Orleans and was underwater. They really liked what we were trying to do here at Starworks and decided that they wanted to move here too. So as soon as they unloaded all of their equipment, for the most part, they got the largest contract that they had ever had. With the glass studio, now we have kind of a co-working arrangement where the public access glass studio is a space where glass artists can come from all over North Carolina as well as other places, and they can share all the equipment and all that space It's a great opportunity for them. It makes glass blowing affordable again. But it also provides us the opportunity to have a glass studio to provide glass instruction. So we have one of 6 high school glass blowing programs in the United States. Starting actually in January, we'll be bringing artists from all over the world here to do extended glass residencies here. We do tons of children's programs through here. Last month in July, we had 400 kids. When you do things to your community to attract small businesses, it's also good for your people who live there. We are looking at developing a brewery here on site. StarWorks is part community development, part economic development, part arts project, part all kinds of stuff. But all of it is about regrowing the local economy and the local community in this small town.